5
made
years.
you go, gosh, planning?
Oh, I always tell people it started off as a joke. It was this guy I used to wrestle with back in high school. And they used to do these things on the local television that would like spotlight on a student athlete.
Okay.
I watched it, and one of the things he ended the interview with, he's like, I want to be in urban planning. I was like, what is this? We were in the career center. I think this was sophomore year of high school. And I looked up urban planning. And I printed it and looked at it, and like, super broad, super vague. I think I can do this. So I told everybody for 2 years in high school, I'm going to be nerd. And then I got to college, and I went to JC, or junior college. And then that first year, I was like, okay, I really need to get my act together. What am I going to do? I was like, I should take a look at this urban planning thing. I still had to print out, so I looked into it, and I'm like, this looks cool. I'll give this a shot. So I looked at planning schools, got my A, transferred to Cal Poly, went to their program, got a degree, and I just mostly liked it.
To be an urban planner in general, actually need a master?
I think it depends on a lot of factors. There's a lot of different types of planning. You can be on the civic side like me. You can be on the private side and focus in on a specific topic. You could be an environmental planner. You could be an urban designer, which is not necessarily a planner. Kind of like the architecture side, you're designing community spaces, while city planning might talk about like more of the components of the city. You know, your infrastructure, your utility services. And so to go back and get a master's really depends on how you want to utilize the master's. I was looking for more real estate and development because I want to know the financial side of development. And then I found the USC program that had a lot of emphasis on economics and the financial side.
So what is your actual title here?
I am the advanced planning manager, and my primary responsibility is to help the community create a vision for an area and then create policies and regulation for that vision. So I do more policy work, more regulatory work.
So what did you know about Stockton when you came here? Did you go, gosh, it's a historic city. It was one of the 4 largest cities during the
Well, I'm from Sacramento, so we've got a lot of history ourselves. And a lot of history in Sacramento.
Similar history,
exactly.
Actually, yes.
So it's a lot of, that happened. You know, they both incorporated, I think, 1850. They both had gold rush booms, agricultural booms. I think from a planning standpoint, one of the reasons why it attracted me to the city is that there were so many opportunities and challenges in Stockton that touch on a variety of different planning topics. So there's a goods movement, strong goods movement sector. So industrial, truck, the port, the airport. There is agricultural services there. There is disadvantaged communities, so environmental justice issues, equity issues. There's a downtown, so you can deal with that. There is flooding issues, hazards. I mean, you name a topic, it's there in Stockton to one extent or another. And so from a planning standpoint, it was like, oh, wow, I get to touch on so many different things within one city because you don't always get that.
Do you feel hopeful about Stockton?
I do.
Good.
You know, I think in any city you work in or any organization where you have to feel optimistic about that. And for Stockton, I think there's a lot of optimism. They said there's a lot of things people don't see in Stockton, a lot of good communities out there. But I think from a market standpoint, Stockton reminds me a lot of how Sacramento was about 15 years ago.
Okay.
And to me, that's when Sacramento kind of popped and had this renaissance in Sacramento with all these new development, all this business. I think Stockton's waiting for that. As advanced planning manager, what do people want to see in the downtown? They want to see adaptive reuse of the buildings. They want to see a walkable streetscape. They want to see businesses. They want to see this and that. Part of what we do is we go out and talk to business owners, property owners. Hey, what issues you're having with reusing your building stuff?
Do you feel that city government has supported you?
Yeah, here.
Good.
I think one of the things that helped motivate me a bit was I did a few mentoring programs up in the Sacramento region through our planning affiliates, American Planning Association. It was eye-opening. I mean, it's always great to help teach, help mentor. It helps you kind of focus on, well, how do I explain this? How do I do that? But one of the things is that they were so motivated and they were so optimistic about things, like all of them. And they were impressive too. Run into people every once in a while that, you know, doesn't have to be planning, could be developer, could be whoever, who help kind of raise your game a little bit in one way or the other. Whether it's because they're so good at what they do or they're so forceful, they're so happy, or they're so whatever. You just kind of take inspiration where you can get it. What would you recommend to someone who wants the future creator of a great city? Patience. That's why sustainable planning, good planning, takes time.
Thank you so much.
No